Hello, and welcome to the Every Girl Wins show. I'm Dr. Christine Kazachuk, and on my show today, I have guest Her Excellency, Dr. Justina Mutale. I want to take this moment to tell you a little bit about Every Girl Wins Institute. Every Girl Wins Institute teaches women and young girls life literacy. The purpose of Every Girl Wins is to show them that they have the ability to deal with challenges that are holding them back from being successful in their personal and professional lives. Life literacy through Every Girl Wins Institute means the teaching of the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and collaborate. The first step to success is to determine what limiting belief is keeping them in their current situation. Once identified, they understand where it comes from and how to let go to move forward in life. Once identified and understood, the next step is to show the student how to take action on their goals. Our experts teach them how to create a life literacy plan of action for their goals in life. The process shows them how to plan their life goals and based on their personal mission and their vision. Our experts show our students how to set up an essential short-term and long-term personal budget through our Every Girl Wins Winning Economic Life Literacy program. They will learn how to write a winning one-page business plan. Our step-by-step business plan will show our banks and investors the blueprint to a winning business. Every Girl Wins Institute provides visual, group interactions, and written lessons for our students to succeed in our life literacy programs and team building for projects on climate control. We also create an atmosphere of knowing teamwork makes the dream work. My guest today, Dr. Justina Mutale, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is acclaimed as one of the most influential and inspirational women of African American origin. Dr. Justina is the African Woman of the Year 2012. Justina is the founder and president of Justina Mutale Foundation and its scholarship program for underprivileged African young women. She is also the founder of Positive Runway, the global catwalk to stop the spread of HIV/AIDS. Named as one of Africa's most respected names, well-known faces, and influential voices, Justina is listed in various Who's Who's lists. Thank you, Dr. Justina, for participating in the Every Girl Win show. And I tell you, I am beyond excited today to have you on this show. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. And my name is pronounced Mutale.
Mutale. Okay. We didn't even correct that in the beginning.
Okay, you're not the only one. A lot of people pronounce it the way they see it.
Yeah. And I have a lot of people with my last name, Kazachuk. They have this. How do you pronounce it? I said just the way it's spelled, Kazachuk. But I tell people I married the name. Mine was much simpler. It was Robert. So. So the purpose of the show is to share your experiences as a female-inspired entrepreneur, and where you play a bigger role in worldwide with females worldwide. And of the audience that's here today, if you have any questions, please just post them there, and we will address them as throughout the show as they come up. Now, our show, as we discussed the following 5 ultimate gifts of life literacy that we teach at Every Girl Wins Institute, and that's identify, understand, create, collaborate, and communicate. So, Dr. Justina, if it's okay if I just call you Dr. Justina?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. And so the first question that I have for you is, why is it important for females to identify and understand who they are?
Well, that is important for each and every person in this world to identify and understand who they are, because once you identify and understand who you are, then life could be a little bit easier for you, because then then you kind of know your place in society. You know how to navigate the ups and downs of society. If you don't really know who you are, then you don't even know your worth, and you don't know which places will praise you and which places will bring you down, which people to mix with and which people not to mix with, what advice to take and what advice to turn down or give a deaf ear to. So that is why it is important to know your identity, to be aware of your identity, of who you are, so that in this world you are armed with that knowledge and that confidence that you are this person and this is what life is offering to you and this is what you want to take out of life. And yes.
With that, we're talking about identity and understanding. So many females, they can wait until, for example, for me, 45 till I figured out who I was. And women should not wait. Females should not wait that long to do that.
Yeah, Yes, in fact, I could say that I probably was brought up in a different way, so it has always puzzled me when people say they are trying to find who they are. to me, for some reason, where I grew up and growing up with my peers, it's never a question that sort of crossed our minds. I don't know whether it's because of our traditions and cultures, the way we were brought up, and also being brought up through the church. In my early years, I went to a Catholic school. So, learning about God and creation and all that, we kind of already had that confidence and kind of knew who we were. So when I started finding that I took time off to find out who I was. And it kind of puzzles me, really. It's something that I've never had to struggle with. I've always had the confidence of knowing where I was coming from, as I am from Africa. I grew up in Africa. I grew up with my parents. I knew who my grandparents were, who my relatives were, who my friends were going to school, what we were learning. We were a mixed group of us because if you know, I come from Zambia in Africa. Zambia used to be a colony of the British Empire. Mm-hmm. And I was born just before we got our independence. So going to school, we were a whole mixed ethnicities, so to speak. So we had white friends, Asian friends, Chinese friends. I even have Chinese cousins. So, but still, I always knew who I was. So it is, but then slowly I find that it's a common thing, people trying to find who they are. And I think it is good, because if you don't really know who you are, you totally get lost into this world. For me, I think that's another thing that has contributed to me navigating this world in a positive way, because I've always known exactly who I am.
That's amazing. Like I stated earlier, so many of us, has trouble with that. And that's the reason with Every Girl Wins, of showing them you can find who you are, and you can start at a young age to you can be 70 years old. If you still haven't found yourself, you know who you are deep down inside. You just have to bring it out. And then bring it out. So my next question is, why is it important for females to identify their limiting beliefs and to understand and how it holds them back in life?
It still goes back to the same thing that I said. Once you know who you are, also once you identify your limiting beliefs, because if you don't identify something, you don't realize that you have this thing that's holding you back, then there's no way you can jump over it. So once you realize what your limiting beliefs are, then you can again navigate around them or cross over them, and then you can venture forth. Because if you don't know that you have any limiting beliefs, let alone if you can't identify what those are, then there's no way that you can work them out, and then there's no way that you can proceed. Because in anything in the world, what really holds people back are limiting beliefs, thinking that because I'm this and that, I can't do this and that. Because, for example, sometimes there's the issue of saying, because I'm a woman, then I can't do this. This is just a man's job. But then when you look back in history, you'll find that there were women who did things that other men had to follow what those women had done. So the idea of saying I can't do this because that I'm a woman is just a limiting belief. It's just a belief that is in someone's head. To think that, oh, because I'm a girl, I cannot play basketball. I used to play basketball when I was in secondary school. I played basketball when I was in secondary school. I started at the age of 12, and I didn't even hesitate. When I went to secondary school and I found that my secondary school had a basketball team, I went and joined in, and so there were other girls with us. So we didn't even think at all and we used to play, it was a co-education school. So our basketball team was boys and girls. And to us, it didn't matter that we were playing with boys. It's just that we are playing with our fellow classmates or schoolmates. Mm-hmm. That is what it was to us, not that we are playing with boys. So when if you keep thinking because this, or for example, I know that I told you I'm from Africa. I do have a very strong African accent, but I do have some friends who, when we moved out I live in London now, I've lived here for quite a while, then they try to change their accent in order to be accepted. I've never had to do that. If I've caught on a little bit of an accent, it just maybe has come naturally. But I know that we have friends that went out of their way to try and acquire the British accent or what might be called the English accent just so they can fit in. Yeah, so that is another limiting belief. When you think that something as natural as your own accent is going to hold you back, then there is a problem there. So yeah, it is always good to identify what your limiting beliefs are and then to do away with those limiting beliefs. Because if you have confidence in yourself, if you have unshakable self-belief, there's no telling how far you can go in life.
Absolutely. There was I was on a meeting yesterday, and it just struck me what she said. She was talking about limiting beliefs, and you stated that you played basketball, and she works with girls in sports, and the limiting beliefs that so many people lived inside the box with their limiting beliefs. And she says the instructions are on the outside of the box. Get out of the box and read the instructions.
Yes.
I love that. I was like, it just dawned on me that so many people live in the box because they're limited beliefs. They need to get out and realize in life, the instructions are there for you. Just keep following, your path.
Exactly.
On that. So is there a time in your life that you have had to stand back and realize that your limiting beliefs have held you back in creating what you've wanted to create?
I have never had that many limiting beliefs. Once I have identified that I want to venture into this direction or do something, I always then focus on the goal, focus on the thing that I need to do. If there are some things that I have not done, it's because I've never tried to venture into them. I believe that if I were to be trained to fly a fighter jet, I would be able to do that. If I were to go to NASA even today and train to become an astronaut, I would be able to do that, and I'd be able to go to the moon. What I believe is that as long as we are all capable, that is the good thing about humans, we are very adaptable to situations and things. It's only that we can learn only so much in life. And it depends on what you have chosen to learn, or perhaps to start with what your parents put you through. And as you grow up, you choose what to try and what not to try. But I am of the very strong belief that as long as you are taught or shown how to do something, you would be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. And for me, I've had, limiting beliefs. I don't think I've had limiting beliefs because I've always stretched myself and knowing that I can do it. And when someone tells me I can't do it, I'm going to prove them wrong that I can do it. That's just always, it just has always been me in that, just stretching myself and knowing. And that's the reason I love doing what I'm doing when these girls and these women come up with these limiting beliefs and they realize it's just limiting belief that that came about when you was at a young age, that's holding you back. And it's just amazing how when they see that's holding them back, of the stars in their eyes that they know they can do it, it's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling when you see that in them. So my next question is to you is, you just had an amazing event with, for women's and girls. Your lineup of speakers was phenomenal. What I saw from the lineup was strong leadership from you in collaboration and communication. Share with the listeners why it is essential to build strong collaborative relationships, and why communication is key to building those relationships.
Yeah, it is important to identify along the way when you choose a certain line of business or a certain line of way of life or livelihood, or what you want to do in life, and to also identify what people can come along with you in order to build your dream. Then you build those networks. You build those networks and ensure that you keep in touch with those networks, and you collaborate with them. That is what it is. So that when you have a thing like the summit that I just convened, all those people were a result of different networks that I belong to, different people that I've met on different occasions in my line of work, in my speaking engagements, and other things that I have done. Some of them came through Positive Runway, some of them through the Justina Mutale Foundation, others come through other other avenues, events that I have, for example, been invited to go and speak at, and I have communicated with these people, networked with those people, kept in contact with them. And also, you have to respect people. You have to have a certain way of conduct, and there is an etiquette to it that makes you then maintain those very high level collaborations and high level contacts, that when you call upon them, they will be able to get up and come and assist you in whatever it is that you want to do. So it's a lot of hard, I don't know, I wouldn't call it hard work as such. It's just the way you relate to people, creating these relationships. It's the way you relate with people. I think that is very, very important.
Yeah,
and communicate with the people is very important.
Yeah, I just did a book called Networking Negotiations, The Power of No, and I did the chapter in networking. And into being the previous managing director of an international networking organization called eWomen Network, I saw everything, about networking. So that chapter is about relationship building. And that's as women, we have to like and trust you and be able to build that relationship before we do business with you. And that's one thing that I kind of teach in that is, is the trust. You can't go up to someone and expect them to do, business with you or do anything with you without building that relationship. So we have a few people here, Dr. Justina, that's on. Let's see here. Anana says, let me put this up here. Anana says, work with people that can come along and help you build, which is great. And the next one, I'm not sure her name. As educators, we should essentially help students at all levels to cultivate confidence in themselves. And then we have Dominique. Dominique's from Kenya. You're amazing ladies. And then let's see who. It's so liberating to combat your limiting beliefs. And then let's say Dr. Juma. He says outstanding. So, outstanding. So thank you all for watching. And if you have any questions for Dr. Justina, please put them in there, and we'll go over those at the end of the show. Now, March 13th is International Every Girl Wednesday. We stand with all females for freedom and equal opportunity. We stand as one to inspire the world to accept all females as an equal and to celebrate the most significant asset, our femalehood. This observance gives us the means to focus attention on education, literacy, healthcare literacy, entrepreneurship literacy, and economic literacy. As the founder of Positive Runway, the global catwalk to stop the spread of HIV/AIDS, Why is it important for us to stand for healthcare literacy for females?
As you know, so I'm going to talk about that in the as a founder of Positive Runway and also as a champion of human rights, so to speak, as a gender activist, somebody who's always advocating for gender equality and also the empowerment of women and girls, and someone that believes that once we empower women and girls, then we are empowering humanity. See, humanity comes through women. Women are the ones that bear the children that bring up the population of the world. So if women did not have access to good health or did not even have good health, then they wouldn't bear healthy children to carry on the health population of the world. So it is important that girls and young women and girls are aware and they have access to health literacy. So one, they understand how their body works. Two, they also understand what nutrition is good for them. Three, because food is medicine. So if you have a good diet, then you have good health. There's no need for you actually to go to the hospital, to the doctor, because all medication is actually made out of, you could say, almost edible foods. So you find that most foods, most vitamins are food supplements. That's why they're called food supplements. For example, some people have to go to the pharmacy to buy garlic tablets. You can have garlic in its raw form. You have to go to the pharmacy, buy vitamin C. You can have vitamin C in its raw form in oranges and some fruits. So something like that. So it is very important that from a young age, girls know the right foods to take and why it is important to have a healthy lifestyle and a healthy diet, because they do say as long as you have your health, you can do anything. If I wasn't feeling well today, we wouldn't have this conversation.
Right. And you come back to the food and see one of the projects for Every Girl Win is Plant a Garden Project. And like you're stating, I so heartily believe that food can cure you. If it's
Yes, food can cure you, and especially organic food. That's the good thing. For example, in Africa, up to now, we still have lots of organic food. Some of it just grows on its own. You just walk about in a little bush and you can pick that up and eat it, and it is very good. Very good for your health. So to keep a healthy lifestyle, and also if you have a healthy food, you also have a healthy mind. Because food that is detrimental to your body is also detrimental to your mind.
Yes.
So all these are important, and it is important that young women and girls have health literacy, so they know, one, how their body works, two, what kind of good food is good for their body, three, how to deal with any health issues that they might be going through. So that is why it's important that the girls also. We at my foundation, the Justina Mutale Foundation, we are always encouraging girls to go into STEM, into science subjects, so they learn the science and the biology and all other all other subjects that deal with the human body and with their health. That way, then they know what to do and what needs to be done when something happens or occurs to do with their health. And if they don't know, when you are ignorant, anything that you are ignorant of or unaware what is causing something to take place, you are always getting lost.
Yeah, that's so true. And with the food, I'm gonna go back to that again. As a personal trainer, I believe what you put in your body is how your body is. How it's made. They say what you put in your body is what your body looks like. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. And Justina, we have a few others. We have one that says, if you are healthy, you can do anything. That's Dr. Dorcas from Kenya. And of course, my biggest cheerleader in the world, which is my husband, to educate is the way. He's my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Educate is the way. So some of you may be thinking, how can I support Every Girl Wednesday? At first, before I tell you how you're going to support Every Girl Wednesday, I want to share with you our big news. I am so excited about this, Dr. Justina. So Rivers and I came up with this beginning of the week. So I've been working kind of on this. The big news for our theme for 2021 is Her Right. Let me say that again.
Brilliant.
International Every Girl Wednesday 2021. Her theme is Her Right. Her right for equality for education literacy. Her right for equality for healthcare literacy. Her right equality for economic literacy. Her right for equality for entrepreneurship literacy. Her right to the 5 ultimate gifts of life literacy, which is identify, understand, create, communicate, and collaborate. Her right to identify who she is as a female. Her right to identify and understand the limiting beliefs that are holding her back in life. It's her right to create the life she loves and deserves. It's her right to communicate her needs, wants by using her voice. It's her right to collaborate with other like-minded individuals to create a better world. So what is your thoughts on that, Dr. Justina?
I think that is brilliant. The theme of girls' rights or women's rights, as Hillary Clinton said once, human rights, women's rights. Yeah. So the rights that women and girls are trying to reclaim, I say reclaim because they belong to them. The women just have to reassert themselves and not wait to be given the rights. They have to claim them back, to reclaim them. So Hillary did say human rights, women's rights are human rights. So every girl or every woman and girl deserves to have their rights. In fact, our summit, which was celebrating the United Nations International Day of the Girl, the theme was My Voice, Our Eco Future. And also on our human rights panel, the tagline was moving from outrage to courage, the courage for women and girls to reclaim their rights. Because these are rights that we were born with. These are rights that are ours. So all we need to do is to reclaim them and not be asking for them, because they are our rights after all, and we've always had them.
Absolutely. So the tagline that we came up with this was, it's not a movement, it's our life.
Of course, because it's a human right.
Yes. So it's a human right. It's our life. Yes. So on International Every Girl Wednesday, we stand with all females for freedom and equal opportunity. We stand as one to inspire the world to accept all females as equal, to celebrate our most significant asset, our femalehood. This observance gives us the means to focus attention on education, literacy, healthcare, literacy, entrepreneurial literacy, and economic literacy. International Every Girl Wednesday should be celebrated worldwide in every country through talks, lectures, calling, or sending letters of encouragement to females in our lives. Excuse me. We have a proclamation, and I want to thank you, Dr. Justina, for signing that proclamation. And, thank you. We have a proclamation electronic proclamation, that you can sign at everygirlwins.com. And we'll put this up here so we can show it. Everygirlwins.com. You can go there and support that. So, Dr. Justina, tell our listeners why it is so important to sign a proclamation.
It is important to sign a proclamation because then you're endorsing it. You're giving your voice to that proclamation, and you are giving that proclamation power for it to take life, to be taken on board, and to be activated, and to do the job that it needs to do.
And again, thank you so much for signing that. Now, if you want to know more about the events on that day from our country representatives, right now we have Canada, we have London, we have Kenya, we have South Africa, we have Haiti, we have the United States, we also have one of the Caribbeans, Dominican Republic. Those are the ones right now that we have, and Uganda. Let me backtrack on that, Uganda. We are looking for other country representatives to, represent International Every Girl Wednesday and to celebrate that day to stand for females of the world. And if you want to know more about that, you can either Facebook message me or you can send me an email at info@everygirlwins.com. Now, Dr. Justina, do you have any further, final words before we close?
I should just commend you on such a brilliant initiative, the Every Girl Wins, because I believe that, of course, like I said, girls become women that bring up humanity. But as women of the 21st century, we need to nurture the upcoming girl child. We need to leave a legacy that enables the girl child to navigate an ever-changing global landscape, an ever-changing world of work, world of politics, an ever-changing society. So through Every Girl Wins, I know that is your contribution to leaving that kind of legacy, and it is an important legacy that the world needs to be left with. One of the directors of UNESCO, I think his name was called Federico Mayo, did say that the world we leave to the children depend on the children we leave to the world. And I believe that Every Girl Wins is trying to leave a girl that is enabled, a girl that is enlightened, a girl that has the proper knowledge, skills, information, education, competencies, and of course the necessary networks for her to be able to compete on equal footing with her male counterparts in the future, beginning from now and into the future. And of course, Every Girl Wins is also trying to contribute to the aspirations of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are based on achieving gender equality and the empowerment of women. And gender cuts across all the 17 goals of the Sustainable Development Goals. So if we do not empower the girl child, if we do not achieve gender equality, then there is no way that the world is going to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030. So thank you very much to Every Girl Wins for your contribution towards the actualization of the Sustainable Development Goals, and of course to an equal world. And like I said, if you empower girls, if you empower women, then you are empowering humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. We have a few other, before we close, we have a few others that said a few things. And, Dorcas, again, women's rights are human rights.
Yes.
And Ms. Shaw, she says, you ladies are amazing. And she says, Dr. Justina, always inspiring. Always inspiring. And someone gave us a hashtag, which is great, and gave us another hashtag.
Oh, wow.
Another hashtag on that. So thank you for watching our show today. For more information regarding Every Girl Wins Institute International Every Girl Wednesday, visit my website at everygirlwins.com. When you visit our page, please take the time to sign the proclamation for International Every Girl Wednesday. Again, this is not a movement. This is our life. And if you want to get a hold of Dr. Justina, message me and I will connect you with her. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you, everybody that was watching this show, and for all your contributions. Thank you.